Hi guys, I'm Serena and today we're going to be talking about the Three of Wands. So the wands in tarot represent the fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In the case of pulling this card, it could represent a Leo, Sag, Aries, but more than likely it's going to just represent energy as a whole, because that's what fire signs are, or that's what the element of fire is representative of, is energy, because fire is sort of like a phenomenon. So keywords for fire signs or the wands, the suit of wands, is ambition, drive, desires, initiative. So when you think of a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, like they're very full of life, they're full of energy, they're full of ambition, drive, desire. If you want to be pulled forward by someone, find someone in your life that's a fire sign and ask them to help motivate you. And I'm sure that even just their presence alone will help you to feel sort of energetic or full of energy. And that's something that they naturally possess, that they can't really explain why they are that way. So that is the same with the suit of wands. So the suit of wands is talking about energy, and in this case the three has to do with inner balance. If we think about the ace is a potential for something new to come into existence. The two is sort of that first initial like recognition of what are the steps that we could take to make the potential happen. And so the three would be actually taking that first step. And so in this case, the Three of Wands has a lot to do with ambition, determination, creativity, confidence. It takes a lot of confidence for someone to actually go after their ambitions. It's one thing to have a dream, it's one thing to have a plan. It's a completely other thing for those two things to come into harmony and to create something new and actually be manifest into the real world. So the Three of Wands is representative of the manifestation of a new energy in your life, be it a dream, an ambition, a goal, something that you're aspiring towards has either started to come into fruition in your life through your own actions, through your own energy, or you are being encouraged by the cards, by the tarot, by the divine, or by your own subconscious self to take initiative towards whatever it is that you've kind of been playing with in your mind as a potential of something that could happen. Like for me personally, like I've wanted to do yoga for a really long time, and I've thought about it, you know, and actually I started doing it for a while, so that would be a 2, and now I've been doing it for a few weeks, like a few months, and I'm actually starting to see progress. Like things that were a struggle in the very beginning, the very first steps, aren't so much of a struggle anymore now that I've been doing it for a while. So that would be an example of sort of a Three of Wands moment. So we can look at the symbolism of the card as the person sort of standing on the edge of the cliff, looking out into the horizon, observing all of the potential that could come into manifestation with this person's determination and interaction with the world that he's viewing. So there's a lot of success to be gained by this person's efforts, by your own efforts. And yeah, it's just representative of that. So it's about looking ahead into the future, because we will reap rewards, right? We will sort of eat the fruits of our labor, but the Three of Wands is more about the very beginnings of starting that garden in which you will harvest the fruits of your labor in the future. So it's about the potential of your garden and so you're sort of laying the foundation for what it is that you will sow come harvest time. So a mythological sort of example of the Three of Wands would be the story in the Bible of Moses parting the sea. So I can't really go into too much detail about the story itself, but I know that Moses had high virtue and high moral a high moral compass, and he was led by his virtues and he was fueled by his virtues. And so this focus and determination came into perfect harmony, and his will and his way came into perfect harmony to create the miracle that was parting the Red Sea in this mythological or real story that is told in the Bible. So that is something that the Three of Wands sort of, we can think of that as a representation to remind us of what it is. And we can even see the sea right there being parted by the river. So that is a good way to remember what it's about. So it's asking you to pay attention to your own happiness and peace, and to focus on winning, focus on victory. You are in a state of optimism at this time if you pull the Three of Swords upright. And it begs to ask the question of, do you doubt yourself? And if you do doubt yourself, is it related to your virtues? Is there a virtue that you could adopt that will help you to overcome this doubt? So for an example, like discipline or diligence, what is something that you can try to focus on, that word that creates this picture in your mind that whenever you pray, like, please give me diligence, that you can have some sort of something to hold on to that will anchor you to your progress. So it's represented by the astrological aspect of the sun in Aries. So it is similar to the Emperor in that way, because the Emperor is represented by the astrological sign of Aries, but this card in particular is represented by the sun in Aries. So the sun is exalted in the sign of Aries, which means that it's at home. So it is sort of creating this sense of newness within us. If we think of the sign of Aries, it happens at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the astrological new year, which, it being the first sign in the zodiac, creates this like new beginning, or this feeling of spring within us. And this feeling of spring is in regards to whatever it is that you're inserting your energy to at this time. Chances are, if you pull this card, that you are beginning a new endeavor. So the three has to do with harmony, synthesis, and it's no longer separated into a will and a way. Those two things are now in harmony, and it is the first actual manifestation of something that you've been injecting your energy into. So because of this new beginning, the Three of Wands is referred to as the virtue card, because there is a certain level of dignity and moral behavior that is required to reach the Three of Wands initially. So beginning to start a daily practice requires a level of virtue that you have cultivated within yourself that has got you to this point where you can recognize that you are able to see your own potential for the first time in regards to whatever it is that you're putting your energy into. So the Three of Wands indicates that there is a level of awareness present within you at this time, and that you've already discovered a new dream or aspiration, right? So it's about making that dream into a reality. And so you just need to take the first steps. And if you already have, the Three of Wands is just acknowledging and letting you know that reward is sort of fast approaching. So if you haven't begun to see the fruits of your labor yet on the tree, not in your house, in your mouth, but like outside, like it would be like after you planted the seeds, like the very beginning of the sprouts of the seeds, like, and you understand that if you don't water them every day and continue to come back and nurture your garden, that those plants are going to die without your attendance, without your nurture. So yeah, it's about growth and expansion. So the initial completion of a project with potential for expansion. So new ideas are forming on the horizon, and a willingness to explore something and create your own future by visualizing it clearly. So in reverse, we can understand that the Three of Wands is kind of about maybe taking on more than we expected to take on, an inability to grasp sort of this higher view of what could be, and focusing too much on the obstacle that's right in front of us, and not setting our sights wide enough. Being too fixed on something that's standing in our way. That's what the Three of Wands reversed would be representative of. So we can also understand that it's an indication that you're headed in the right direction and that your hard work is going to start to pay off, like I said. So in regards to like love, it might mean that we've met someone with a potential to start a future with, and maybe we're just starting to get into the groove of either being in a relationship, or yeah, I would say being in a relationship. It would indicate sort of like the first step of a relationship, the first few steps of a relationship. But if you've already been in an established relationship, maybe it's that you and your partner are starting to form some type of groove in which you guys are both sort of harmonizing together, because the three is representative of duality. Duality reminds me of the lovers. The lovers are, it's like yin and yang, they need each other. So the Three of Wands in a love reading could indicate that you and the person that you're with are starting to sort of get on the same page mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and you're just filled with enthusiasm at this time and fresh ideas to fuel your motivation. So there is an underlying sort of an underlying message of patience and trust that only someone with true confidence would undertake whatever it is that the Three of Wands is indicating that you've been in pursuit of. So you should applaud yourself for having the bravery to have confidence in yourself, because all of us sort of are born with our own unique set of challenges that we have to overcome. And even just deciding to pick up the wand and start moving towards anything takes a level of bravery, a level of confidence, a level of self-love. And even we start to understand that there's a level of healing involved. And if we can see the little sprouts on the wand, we can understand that that is representative of sort of healing and growth, because we have to overcome the obstacles of our childhood, of our early life, of our obstacles that we face throughout our adult life in order to start something new, because maybe we've been put down in the past, maybe we've even failed in the past, and yeah, it takes a level of confidence, a level of self-love, a level of healing to start a new adventure. So you are being encouraged at this time to love yourself and to be proud of yourself and to believe in yourself, and whatever it is that you are you're sort of planning on doing. Like if you have an idea of something that you want to do and you've kind of decided that these are the steps that you would take if you had that level of confidence in yourself, you're being encouraged to just go after it. It's an indication that that is something that's meant for you. I've heard before that like our desires don't just come to us by like random. Our desires are things that are meant for us. There's a reason that we want to do the things that we want to do, because doing those things is going to lead us to the next thing, to the next thing, and our life will begin to unfold as we start to listen to our intuition and our instincts, which are kind of just sort of the same thing. So with the fire signs, they are very spiritual. They're in like direct connection, as all of us are, but like they're seen as very spiritual people because they are so impulsive. They act out of their instinct, whereas like a Pisces or water sign sort of are intuitive and they're more thoughtful and maybe a little more cautious, a little more feeling. The fire signs are more instinctual, reactive, impulsive, because they have a level of confidence that is unique to their zodiac signs. So we all have that within us. There's fire within your chart, even if you don't think that there is. Each of us has 12 zodiacs. We all have fire signs ruling over different aspects of our chart, and you can look into that if you want to. But yeah, so the Three of Wands is just indicating that whatever it is that you are in pursuit of, you are being favored in doing so. So that's kind of all I have for you with the Three of Wands. I hope that this helps you, and I hope you come back and see me. Bye.